The Appalachian Mountains stretch from Alabama to North Georgia all the way up to Maine, spanning over 737,000 miles. They truly are a beautiful sight to see, Mother Nature at her very finest. Millions of tourists flock to the mountain chain each year to do everything from hiking to fishing to shopping, and some just to unwind. But just beyond the light of the campsites and neon storefront signs lies a darkness that locals say has been in the area for hundreds of years, something that Native American legends seem to back up. Deep within these beautiful woods are areas that some believe haven't been explored by civilized people for hundreds of years. And deep within the shadows and hollows of the Appalachian mountain range, there lives a beast of some sort. Not quite man, and not quite animal, but a being that is very much alive and, apparently, hunting. Now, just understanding that these beasts are out there is horrifying enough, but what they appear to be hunting is what is going to keep you up at night. You see, by many local accounts, these things appear to have a taste for human blood. And one of the things that they appear to be hunting is you. This being is called a feral man by locals. Many of the people living in the areas in and around the Appalachian mountain chain have heard of these feral people, with some saying that they've heard stories of them growing up, with their elders warning them not to go into the woods after sunset and never to enter them alone, and lastly, always stay on the trails. Those that have witnessed these beings have described them as tall and slender with an unusual amount of body hair. Their hair is said to be long and matted, and they're said to have eyes that appear to be purely white with no pupils visible, similar to someone that has cataracts. Some that have been unlucky enough to catch their gaze have said that there's something almost demonic in their icy stare. Witnesses have also reported that these creatures have very misshapen faces, with some having what looks like bumps covering their foreheads, strangely shaped noses, and some with eyes that are misaligned. It is believed that these strange characteristics could be due to inbreeding within the creatures. It is also reported that they're known to communicate by making a series of clicking sounds, and have a stench that surrounds them like that of rotting meat. These feral people are, according to local legend, responsible for the disappearances of everything from livestock and pets to human beings, with the most well-known case being that of 6-year-old Dennis Martin, who was on a camping trip with his father and brother in Spence Field, located in a part of the Appalachian mountain range known as the Great Smoky Mountains. While playing with a few children, Dennis went behind a bush while attempting to sneak up on his father and quite simply vanished from existence. After noticing that Dennis hadn't returned from behind the bush after about 5 minutes, his father began desperately looking for the child, running down the nearest trail at least 2 miles calling his name, and finding no sign of the small boy. Soon, the park rangers were contacted and started a massive search for Dennis, the largest missing person search to ever occur in the Great Smoky Mountains, in fact. The search included police, the National Guard, park rangers, and most unusual of all, the Green Berets. Helicopters and planes were brought in to scan the surrounding areas, but sadly, the entire search would turn up nothing of Dennis Martin. Now, you might be thinking how horrible this situation of this missing child was, but also wondering what it could possibly have to do with feral people. Well, that's where a man named Harold Key comes in. You see, Harold was in a nearby area the same day that Dennis disappeared. Mr. Key was visiting Cades Cove with his family and reported hearing what he described as a blood-curdling scream. Then he reported seeing a tall, disheveled, man-like being running up a nearby trail with something small thrown over its shoulder. One of Mr. Key's children stated that he thought that the thing that they saw was more animal-like than human. It wasn't until Mr. Key got home and was watching the news that he heard the report of missing Dennis Martin, and his blood ran cold. Mr. Key realized that the thing that he had witnessed in Cades Cove might have been connected to Dennis's disappearance, and the thing that he saw slung over the creature's shoulder might have been Dennis. Mr. Key's testimony strongly backs up what locals say that they have known for years. According to them, the unsolved disappearance of Dennis Martin isn't unsolved at all. They say that the boy was taken by one of the feral people and that his disappearance is many things, but a mystery it is not. And you might remember that the Green Berets showed up to help in the search for Dennis. Well, according to these locals, they didn't show up so much to find the missing 6-year-old boy, but more to hunt down and kill the feral humans who they believed to have taken him. It is said by some that the United States government has been aware of these feral humans since before the actual creation of the national parks that exist within the Appalachian Mountain chain, and that while they did try to exterminate the beasts that they found living within them, they were unsuccessful at reaching them all. Knowing that the public might have second thoughts about visiting the national parks if they were well aware that there were in fact cannibalistic beasts lurking within the shadows, it appears that our government decided to keep this little secret to themselves. But why would they do this, you may ask? That would go back to tourism. If the tourism halts in these national parks, the millions and millions of dollars that they generate through said tourism each year also stops. And you know as well as I do that Uncle Sam is very good at keeping secrets, especially if these secrets ensure that the almighty dollar continues to line his patriotic pockets. In conclusion, let me give you the warning that locals have given to their families for generations. Don't go into the mountains after sundown, never go alone, and never veer off the established trails. Be careful, my friends. They're watching. Thank you for watching Twisted Willow Pictures. Until next time, sweet dreams.